Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to the third episode of Sharks on Air. I'm your host Zainullah Khan, and today I'm with a guest who I believe does not need an introduction. He is the new up and coming content creator, as you say on your Instagram bio, the new kid, Muneebfilms. Welcome to the podcast.
Assalamu alaikum, Zain. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing really well, man.
So over here we have a lot of questions to ask you. There's a lot to unpack, say because you've accomplished a lot in a very short amount of time compared to other creators. But before we do that, I just want to ask you: is this your first podcast? How much speaking have you done to other people about yourself?
So I'm actually quite an extrovert, and a lot of people actually tell me that MUNs वगैरह करो, but I've never actually been to a podcast, never really done public speaking. So this is actually my first time here.
First time, okay. मेरा भी सिर्फ second time here, so I think we're both pretty new to this.
Pretty new to this,
and that's completely fine. So getting that out of the way, I want to touch up upon your journey because even though it's been about, I'd say 8 months.
Yeah, 8 months
since you started this.
Yeah.
A lot has happened.
Oh,
beach mein. But this isn't just 8 months, right? You've been wanting to do content creation for a while now. कि आपने 13 साल की उम्र में अपना गेमिंग चैनल बनाया था.
Oh yeah.
So what led to Muneeb Films? What lit the spark कि भाई मुझे अब वीडियोस बनानी है, मुझे content creation करना है आगे.
So the funny thing is, I grew up watching YouTube channels. The very OG YouTube channels, आपके PewDiePie हो गए, आपके Vsauce हो गए. So I used to really love just content creation itself, and I was really intrigued by the concept. And as a guy जो सिर्फ school जाता था and didn't really have much friends, घर आके I just used to watch YouTubers, and I'm like, I want to be that guy. And I just wanted to start it because me and my cousin, I always used to go to his house Friday को. And we used to play on the PS3, PS4. हमने थोड़ा खेला काफी. FIFA हम खेलते थे, Rocket League, Call of Duty. And he randomly just said the question. He was like, "Do you want to make a video with me?" And I'm like, "For sure, done." I've always wanted to, but I never really had that push to really start it. So we actually made our first video where I was actually showing my face. I was like, "Hi guys, hope you're doing well." The funny part about that is I was like, when we hit 100,000 subscribers, we're gonna do a fist reel and everything. And obviously never hit 100,000 subscribers. But I made a lot of gaming videos, and I kind of stopped in the middle because it just got to a point where it was fun and all, but like it was a lot of effort for not really much. But later on, about 8 months ago, I was kind of reliving that moment, and my family was talking about that YouTube channel, and I was like, you know what, I might just give this a try again because my sister actually had bought a tripod, 700-800 रुपए का tripod था. And she wanted that because she does baking, and she wanted to make content over it. And in 2 months after summer vacation, she was like, "Nahi, I don't want to do this anymore." And I was like, "I'm gonna pick up that tripod if you're not gonna use it." So that's how I started my content.
That's very interesting, and I think the tripod is a good segment to the next question. That you're someone who takes pride in not having expensive equipment.
Yes.
And you like to keep your content completely organic, right?
Yes, this is true.
And the resourceful creator के भाई जितना है उससे we want to make use of what you have, right? So do you think ever in your journey not having the right equipment has ever been a bottleneck for you, or has it actually created more opportunity for you than it may seem at point blank?
Well, in an example, if you're going from 0 to 100 miles an hour, you'll kind of feel that acceleration. आपको मजा आएगा. But if you're constantly आप highway पे आप सिर्फ 100 चला रहे हैं, आपको इतना खास मजा नहीं आ रहा. If you're born a prince, you have everything. You don't really get to experience the growth of upgrading from stuff. And I think me starting off with basically nothing really pushed my creativity to another level. I mean, even on my highlight stories, I have a stories called Random. And उसी stories पे you can see कि मैं अपना phone कहाँ चिपका के और toilet roll लगा के या किसी light को flashlight on करके कोई तरीका निकालता हूँ कि how do I get this shot, how do I replicate something like this with basically nothing. So if I really started with everything, I feel like I would just be like most other creators and not really try to do my own thing. Just try to copy everyone else with the same gear and be like, oh yeah, this is just me as another creator in the mix of creators. But because I always had this problem of not having the right gear and maybe quality achhi nahi hogi, I was kind of restricted in a way, correct? But because of those restrictions, I was able to grow out of it and try to find my own way and find my own thing, which was storytelling, content creation. And I think it's done quite well. I mean, I started on the iPhone 8, then I got a free gift from my mamu. From that iPhone 8 to मैंने 13 पे गया, so I started doing night shots and stuff. And that's the thing. You kind of grow into it when you get better equipment. You're like, oh, now I can actually film in the dark, and now I can actually do this. And oh, now I have this light, so now I can use a rim light. Now I can. This is how you like start learning. I mean, I learned everything on YouTube tutorials, right? So when you slowly get your equipment, you slowly like, okay, now I have to do this. Okay, now I have to do this. Recently, 4 months ago, I got a MacBook. By the way, I started the first 4 months. I started editing on my phone. कभी कभार मसला होता था because when it's too heavy कभी यार crash हो जाता है and then it doesn't get saved and you're like, oh man, why is this happening to me? But when I got that MacBook, I was like, okay, now I want to actually learn how to edit proper तरीके से because I went through a really hard time in the first 4 months of trying to edit on phone. So I think if I just had that MacBook in the starting, I would have never really pushed myself to learn because you already have everything, so I don't really want to do anything else. So I think it's really good for the creativity and growth.
I think that's a very good approach to this because even in the words of Daniel Bhai, he also said that restrictivity breeds creativity.
100%.
And obviously when you start off with everything, you're spoiled. कि ओके भाई मुझे ये करना आता है, मैं ये कर सकता हूँ, लेकिन मुझे फिर करना नहीं है, क्या फायदा इतना? I think it's overwhelming when you start off with all of this शुरू से ही. It should be a progression. But you're someone who even without having all of this equipment, without having the best of the best, you've created what I would say is quality content. And जब बहुत सारे लोगों को होता है कि क्वालिटी कंटेंट तो होता है कि नहीं यार 4K भाई सिनेमा वगैरह वगैरह, दैट्स व्हाट आम लोगों को ये लगता है, दैट्स व्हाट क्वालिटी कंटेंट इज. बट आई थिंक यू हैव kind of flip that. So what does quality content mean to someone like you who doesn't have all of this but you still constantly push against your own boundaries to make something that sticks with the viewer?
Very interesting question. I think quality depends. There's no real actual barrier to quality. There's no like hard cap. Okay, this is where everything is not quality and this is where everything is quality. Because I mean, there's Irfan Junejo, and then there's this Irfan Junejo level. Everyone looks up to Irfan Junejo. We all look up to him.
Obviously.
Then you have Christopher Nolan, right? So if Irfan Junejo, if you're Irfan Junejo right now, you look at a movie from Christopher Nolan, you're gonna be like, oh, that's quality. I'm not building any quality. Like this isn't quality content. And for someone like me watching Irfan Junejo, oh, I would look at him and be like, this is crazy. This is really good content. This is quality. And then I would look at my own content and be like, oh, this is nice. And then probably there's someone out there who's picking up a phone today for the first time, and they look at my content and they're like, oh, this is amazing, this is quality. And for them, it's for their own quality, they're gonna be like, nah, this is not good. So everyone has their own level of what quality is. I think to keep it really simple, quality content is you giving your best effort of trying to use your equipment, whatever equipment you have. Nolan has his IMAX cameras. Irfan Junejo has Sony cameras, someone else maybe has a Canon camera, I maybe have an iPhone, someone else maybe has an Android. I think effort really matters, and if you put 100% of your effort and you know that you've spent quite a few days and you've done everything right, jitna aap kar sakte ho, I think that is quality.
I think that's a very good way to put it because progression is a ladder. अगर मैं start कर रहा हूँ और अगर मैं पहले दिन पे ही नोलन की मूवी देखूंगा, I'll be like, नहीं भाई मैं नहीं कर सकता. If I think the most basic editor, if you start off with Premiere Pro, you'd be like, नहीं मैं ये नहीं कर सकता.
मजे की बात actually, you bring that up. When I was editing on phone, it's really simple, right? बस थोड़े clips काटो, थोड़ी सी coloring थोड़ा change कर लो, थोड़ा music add कर दो, maybe like a sound effect or two. You open DaVinci Resolve. Fun fact by the way, DaVinci Resolve का manual, the actual book for the manual, it's 4,000 pages long. It's 4,000 pages long. And when I opened DaVinci Resolve, as a guy who's been editing on phone for 4 months, I was like, there is no way I can learn this. But then I had that push again. I was like, nahi, maine MacBook liya hai. I bought this so I can progress, so I can proceed with my content. So I sat there, YouTube tutorials, how to mask, how to cut, all the shortcuts, everything. So yeah, it's definitely overwhelming for sure, but there is the whole progression over the ladder thing. I mean, it's not like someone's gonna carry you and then ऊपर रख देगा ना, आपको खुद वहाँ पे चढ़ना है. So yes, it's intimidating for sure, but if you have a passion for it and you have enough determination, I believe you can do anything.
That's a very good way to put it. मुझे याद है ना, when I used DaVinci for the first time, मैंने आपको बताया भी था when we like had a discussion उस दिन कि मैंने I opened it, I'm like नहीं मुझसे ये नहीं हो पाएगा.
I remember.
I went back to CapCut. I'm like यार, because as much as people say CapCut ये CapCut वो है, it's very annoying to get some stuff done, but it's like a drug. I'm addicted to like how easy it is to get, like, you know, जुगाड़ होते हैं लेकिन काम निकल जाता है उससे.
You know, this is something that Irfan Junejo on one of his stories a few weeks ago, उन्होंने कहा Do you want to know how to not be every other creator?
I love that.
Do that extra 50% of hard work to have that 1% noticeable change. Learn DaVinci. अगर आपको DaVinci नहीं आता and everyone's using it and you're not using it, go for it. I think another point actually, going back to the whole quality thing. If you're a CapCut user and you have the chance to use DaVinci and you're purposely avoiding it कि नहीं यार मुझे नहीं करना, that's where you fall off as that's where your
Obviously.
quality is gonna fall off, because
You're bottlenecking yourself.
100%,
Obviously.
100%. Because you have the chance. You're like, okay, now I have the machine. I just need to learn it. I need to spend my time. I need to cut off a few activities. I need to give this time ताकि मैं सीखूं भी. And yeah, if you just give time and again you're passionate about your work and you have enough determination, okay, you want to be 1% better in the next video, and then in the next video it's gonna compound and you're gonna see that quality kind of generating. I mean, we'll actually get to this conversation, but I recently unarchived all of my videos, and all of
I
my
will touch upon that later, by the
yes,
way.
all of my older videos I unarchived, and I recently went through one of my first videos, and I look at that and I look at where I am now in 8 months. And do you want to know how I went from that to this? It's not the gear. Okay, you can say maybe iPhone 8 से iPhone 13. इतना फर्क नहीं है.
नहीं है इतना फर्क मेन कैमरास में बिल्कुल नहीं.
The difference in the quality from my first video to the last is me pushing myself to make those 40 videos in between every single time, trying to learn something new. And when you do that, and when it again the whole compounding thing, that 1% turns into 2, into 3, into 5, into 10, and then you kind of see your progression over the long term. It's like going to the gym. मैं अभी जाऊंगा कुछ नहीं होगा, हफ्ते में जाऊंगा कुछ भी नहीं होगा, महीने में जाऊंगा थोड़ा सा स्ट्रॉन्ग फील करूंगा, 6 महीने में I'll see a difference, 6 in a year I'll be like that was me, I cannot believe that I did not think I was that skinny at the time. So it's all progression. I mean, you're not going to see it instantly, you're never going to see it. The algorithm obviously आपका यहाँ वहाँ चलता है. My first few 10-15 videos were at 100 views minimum, 115 views. So the first videos are definitely hard because you don't have any instinct. You're not like, oh, I'm getting a lot of views or a lot of followers, but you need to kind of push out that mindset and be like, nahi, मुझे करना है. I need to get up and I need to go to the gym. Same concept.
And I think the only person वैसे you can compare yourself is to yourself, because अगर आप day one से ही बोलेंगे ना यार मुझे इरफान जो की तरह videos बनानी है, नहीं हो पाएगा. But when you look back at some of your older videos, there is an insane jump. And to touch upon that, ये जो 1% वाली mentality है, ये क्या पहली वीडियो से ही थी, और was it when you had a very special moment in your like growth when एक हफ्ते के अंदर you quadrupled your followers? तो क्या उसी टाइम पे firstly how was your reaction to seeing that all of a sudden?
Yeah.
And क्या उसी टाइम पे did you realize okay अब people have higher expectations from me, अब with each and every video there has to be an incremental boost? Do you think that would also kind of lead to you losing some authenticity because now you have to appeal to the masses, or was it still like okay I'm just doing my own thing?
You know, Zen, you won't believe this, but this is something about me that's a bit different to everyone else. I could right now hit 100,000 followers in an instant, and it would not change anything for me. Yes, at a certain point, you're like, oh, nice, like I have a lot of followers. But how I work, or how I try to work at least, is another again, sir niche kaam upar, Irfan Junejo. So you need to not let yourself get into this ego. Okay, oh, followers, let's quadruple my followers, 1,000 followers. That's good. Now, because when you get comfortable with your achievements, then you're like, acha, ab mujhe karne ki zarurat nahi hai. That's what I did when I started my YouTube channel. I think I hit 1,000, 2,000 something views, and I was like, yeah, I'm done. Yeah, this is my goal. And then I now realize if I had kept going, I could have done something much bigger. Because at the time YouTube wasn't as big that it is now, and if I had capitalized on that, मैं काफी बड़ा हो जाता on YouTube for my gaming channel. But yeah, when I quadrupled my followers, I didn't really. Yes, I had this moment of, oh, okay, nice, like great, this is lovely.
Validation.
But then I thought back to myself and I was like, nahi, I have to keep my cool. I have to keep making the videos. I stop looking at your numbers. Stop looking at numbers. Numbers don't mean anything. There are people who have less followers than me, who are making better videos than me, and there are people who have more followers than me, who are making worse videos than me. So it's not all numbers. It's never all numbers. I mean, there's TikTokers who have 300,000 followers on just like talking videos. इसमें इतनी खास creativity नहीं है, कुछ बात नहीं है, but people enjoy it, so people like it, brain rot content. So I would say followers doesn't really mean a lot. I mean, yeah, you have that kind of determination. Oh, I want to reach 10,000 followers. Oh, I want to reach 50,000 followers. And I think, yeah, that's a good goal to have. But that's it's quite shallow, that goal, because that goal will eventually lead to you also growing as a person, growing as your own creator, and knowing more about filmmaking and photography and videography, whatever you're into. So yeah, when I could double my followers, yes, it was very cool. But I had to keep my cool and I had to just keep going.
I think when it comes to numbers, right, I feel like that you should always have something to keep chasing, right?
100%.
Na कि एक goal है, I want to go to this, but obviously eventually when it's 1,000, फिर 10,000, फिर 100,000, you're like, okay, अब क्या?
Okay.
And people will eventually hear that. Also, like that YouTuber you were telling me about, can you say his name again?
Sorry?
The YouTuber you were telling me who eventually just wanted to improve everything per video, Fortnite वाला जो था.
Oh, that was me. That was me. Oh, sorry.
नहीं, नहीं.
Fearless.
Yeah. The fearless effect कि eventually you're just gonna stop making content because भाई अब क्या? What
Yeah.
else can I do? So looking back at a lot of your videos, right? A lot of your older videos especially, even though they seem at first glance कि it's just someone having fun, कुछ messages genuinely stick. जैसे आपकी वो वीडियो थी कि चाइनीज में एक कहावत है कि किसी चीज का सबसे अच्छा वक्त कुछ करने का 20 साल पहले था. That is something which I feel like a lot of people our age can relate to when they want to start something. How did you apply something like that to your life, and is it something that you live by every single day? What does that quote mean to you?
You know, the code itself actually expands on. It's like the best time to do something was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So I, again, with the whole example of me having my YouTube channel long back, that time was perfect for me to do content if I just kept going, but I stopped. So yeah, when I was 13, I started this, but I stopped it. Now, if I'm thinking in the present, right, and I'm like, okay, I've lost that chance. Now, what can I do? Now you can start right now. Like you can just pick up your phone, do it now. So I think for people anyone who's going through something, it's a hard pill to swallow, because it's like, हाँ यार, अगर मैं उस time पे कर लेता, यार काश ये हो जाती. I wish this would have been the thing, but it's not. This is your present, and you're living the present now. Your past and your future is something you cannot take control of. So what you should take control of is what you can, your present. So anyone out there, whoever it is, आप भले creative हैं, आप कोई photographer हैं, baker हैं, whatever you're into, if you feel like you've not really got the chance or you missed the chance, that's not true. There are people out there who will start something at 40 and succeed in about 5 years. There are people who will start something at 10 and not succeed till they're 60 years old. So everyone has their own time. I mean, me being a content creator now, and maybe किसी और के लिए, आपके लिए, maybe it was written earlier. For someone, it was written later. It's not like everyone turns 18 and they're like, oh, now I can be a content creator. There's no number to it. You can start anywhere. So to anyone out there, take the chance. आप present में रह रहे हैं. If you want to do it right now, do it right now. Don't think about your past. Don't think कि काश हो जाता. You're not gonna go anywhere if you keep restricting yourself because of past mistakes or things that you wanted to do before and you're not doing now.
Damn, that's like, how do I follow up on that? That's a lot of deep words.
Information.
Yeah, it's good though, because this is, even Daniel ने यही बोला था कि I asked him a similar question to this, and the thing I feel like it blends so perfectly is because I asked him कि अब content creation का space, do you feel like over time has it become more ruthless? Do you think there's like a bit competitive ज़्यादा हो गया? But he said कि no matter what, right, the space is so vast, there will always be time, there's always be space to accommodate someone else if they do it right. And I feel like your work is a testament to that, because I'm going to reiterate this again. 8 months is not a short amount of time. Not a lot of time, exactly, right? It is insane to see all of that. So just want to put that out there. I want to come to the main question. जो मैंने उस दिन भी आपसे बात की थी. I have some beef with you, Muneeb.
Okay.
Why were a lot, you said Abhi, it's about showing progression. You want to look back at your older videos and see that you improve everything one by one, right? But then why were so many of the older videos archived?
I see. That was funny. Well, after you convinced me to unarchive them, and I कर तो दिए unarchive.
But why?
So the reason why I actually archived was because there was a point in my life where I was between this kind of thought, कि यार, I don't want to embarrass myself in front of the bigger people. because I was getting follows from a lot of bigger creators, and for some reason I had this thought कि यार this is kind of cringe, like it's kind of embarrassing to have this on my profile, and while so many content creators are like, oh, you could be the next big creator, and I archived it, not thinking again at the same thing, okay, everyone has been through the same thing that I have been. Everyone's been at 7,000 followers, everyone's been at zero followers. So there was definitely a moment where I was working with brands. I mean, Checkmate Atlas, I think उस time पे हुआ था, Manto अभी हुआ था, and I was like, man, I want to, if I really am going to get these brands to work with me and stuff, I don't want to show my older content, because trust me, they do go through your older content and they're like, अच्छा ये कहाँ से आया? And to me, it was just kind of cringe. I didn't want to show people, but after second thought, जब आपने मुझे convince किया, I was like, you know what, नहीं, this is what Muneebfilms is, and a lot of people are inspired by me, and if I need to be this inspiration, I need to show people, guys, I did not start with everything. I started with nothing, basically. Look at my first video. Now I'm kind of proud of it. Now I'm like, guys, मेरी पहली वीडियोस देखो मैं कहाँ से आया हूँ, और देखो मैंने कब शुरू की है. ऐसे नहीं है कि everyone just handed me everything. I went through that growth, I went through that progression. I put way more hours than you can just see on my profile. Like, except for all the videos that you've seen, my family has seen me 45 minutes के लिए ट्राइपॉड इधर, लाइट इधर, फोन इधर, अच्छा नहीं थोड़ा लेफ्ट, अच्छा नहीं थोड़ा राइट, अच्छा नहीं थोड़ा नीचे, नहीं थोड़ा अच्छा नहीं, like everyone has seen me spending 45 minutes on a set just to build something 3 second की clip के लिए. So I spend way more hours than what people actually see, and I know all the creators have gone through this, everyone knows, but like the contemplation of, oh, will this idea work, and then the actual like, अच्छा अभी करना है, अच्छा, and then going through different rooms to get different shots, and then sometimes you just scrap the whole thing and you're like फिर से करूँगा. All that people do not see. So I want to kind of at least show some of it by showing my older videos and be like, nahi, I wasn't given everything. I want to show you that मैं यहाँ से आया हूँ and you all can do it. The most messages I get in my DMs is, you're an inspiration, Muneeb. I started photography. I started doing this. I started doing that. And that's genuinely really inspiring. Like, it's really nice to know that people watch your content and they're like, nahi, मुझे आज कुछ करना है. So I think again, just showing my old content and showing people the journey really helps people know that anyone can do it. That's the whole point of Muneebfilms. Okay, it's not just some creator just trying to make videos. It's me trying to tell you कि तुम कैमरा पकड़ो, ट्राइपॉड पे रखो, ट्राइपॉड नहीं है टेबल पे रखो, लाइट नहीं है अम्मा का फोन पकड़ के फ्लैशलाइट उठाओ, anything, just start and you'll figure it out eventually. That's how I didn't start with storytelling content, by the way. I started with random edits of myself, and then 2-3 months later I kind of found out कि नहीं, I'm an extrovert, I can talk to the camera. I hope I've been doing a good job. And and basically trying to find myself, and I found my storytelling content creation through that niche by trying to make edits, and then एक दो sentences किसी वीडियो में बोला, oh, does well, okay, now I have to do storytelling content creation, and try to do something that आपके last point actually on this, कि you need to do something that you're passionate about, because if you're trying to force something on, अगर तुम्हें engineering करनी है और अम्मा अब्बा ने बोला BBA करो, कर लोगे तुम, it's not like you won't be able to do it, you won't be really happy to do it though. But if you're doing CS and you want to do CS, you have that extra passion to, अच्छा नहीं 2 घंटे और पढ़ाई कर लेता हूँ, नहीं यार एक और YouTube वीडियो देख लेता हूँ यार, like मुझे और सीखना है, मुझे और करना है.
You're gonna want to be good at it.
When you have a passion for example, when I have a passion for content creation, it's not like अच्छा जब idea आएगा तब जाके बनेगी वीडियो, नहीं, idea बनाना है, सोचो कुछ करो, 2 घंटे बैठो यूं चुपचाप, I cannot touch my phone, I cannot touch my MacBook, सोचो क्या, what can I make a video on? How do you, the whole film that I just created, Shabar's GP, it wasn't like अचानक से मुझे बस thought आ गई, हाँ, let's just make a whole MotoGP concept thing with my bike and everything and doing it all solo. नहीं, ये मैंने बैठ के सोचा है कि what's going on in my life right now, what can I make with this content. और recently literally मैं अभी घर से आया था groceries लेके, and I was like, मैंने थोड़ी बाइक भगाई थी, यहाँ पे कैमरा लगा हुआ नहीं है, थोड़ी बाइक भगाई. I like bikes, I like cars, I like the whole vehicles and everything. I'm a car guy myself. I was like, I'm gonna make something about this because I'm passionate. So when you're passionate and you have enough discipline, थोड़ी सी discipline चाहिए, अगर passionate हो और थोड़ा सा discipline हो आप में, you can get anywhere. So follow your passion and you'll succeed, inshallah. That's the whole thing.
Again, there's a lot to unpack and there's a lot I want to follow up in that question. So I'll break it down.
Yes.
सबसे पहली बात जो आपने बोला था कि you want to inspire others, I feel like that was the entire basis of our conversation. For context, basically, Muneeb showed me his film earlier as well, and we got on a Google Meet to discuss some things. तो उधर ये बात हमने pick up की थी कि right now a lot of people say social media has started to pick up. If we talk about something like YouTube, not that far back, it's been a bit recent compared to things like YouTube, right, that have been around for a lot longer.
Yeah.
So a lot of creators that we've seen have already been established.
Yeah.
Right, they've been doing their thing. But with your content, I feel like if for the first time a lot of people our age currently, we get to see someone in the making, we get to see someone progressing, right? And when you get to see all that organic build up, that organic progression, it does genuinely inspire you. मैं अगर अपनी भी story बताऊँ ना, मुझे मैं like in this entity तो I wanted to, मैं पहले से आया था NCS के अंदर, मुझे शौक था बचपन, I like YouTube channel a while back से ना, तो I would like do magic tricks on it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
those videos are never coming out, by the way.
Please send that to me.
So it was like, I think it was like 11 or 12. This one was lockdown, by the way.
Yeah.
सही ना, तो I 13 होगा फिर probably उस time पे, 14.
Hey, same 13. I was 13 as well, bro.
So it was उस time से, but I think जो मेरा proper जो एक inspiration आई थी ना, I was like यार, okay, it is not that difficult because this person can make good videos right now, and they don't have much to start with.
Yeah.
So what excuse do I have? Obviously, when you see an Irfan Jojo video, it's beautifully edited. Say the quality is crisp, वगैरह. You're like, oh, the बंदे के दिमाग में आता है, नहीं यार, Sony FX3 use हो रहा होगा,
A73,
मैं तो नहीं कर सकता
मैं नहीं कर सकता.
But when you see someone actually growing, ना, that's when you're like, okay, it's possible. So I think that was like something really, really cool.
यार with the whole seeing someone grow ना, क्या है कि हमारी जनरेशन से पहले हमजा भट्टी, ज़ैनत इरफान, ये वाली जनरेशन थी, and when they were growing, some people saw that growing, and then this is a whole cycle. एक every generation में कोई ना कोई 5, 6, 10 creator आते हैं, and then people get to see them growing. So knowing that Hamza, I have been working for Hamza for about 11 months now, mashallah, alhamdulillah. But since I started working, one thing I saw in him was that he still had that same drive that he had, that you can see through his initial videos. And knowing that I have a passion for content creation, and knowing that I have enough determination कि मैं कर सकता हूँ, being an inspiration to someone, or being an inspiration to many people was a dream of mine. And now that I'm living it, I think I've reached a point where now there's no going back, and I'm not, and there is no way like I have any consideration of going back. But I'm just really glad that I have the community that I have, people like you. I know you've been following my content as well, and I really appreciate that. And I appreciate every single person who actually does. Not even if you don't follow, even if you just watch my videos and you consider me a good creator, I really appreciate that. So yeah, more to come, more to grow.
That's very good. We always like to see someone being humble, and it's really inspiring to see that after all of this, we still remember where you come from. And to move on to my next question, you're someone who's referred to yourself, and not only you yourself, but other people have said that you're not just a micro content creator, you're the micro content creator, because Muneebfilms का लोगों को पता है, small creator by bigger standards, yes, but पता है ये एक लड़का है जो content वगैरह बनाता है. And in a very short time span, you've also kind of cracked one of the biggest puzzles जो नए content creators के लिए होता है. How can content creators make money in Pakistan? And I saw on your LinkedIn that you have like about 11 to 13 work experiences, say with brands that you work with creators that you work with, and then obviously your collaborations on Instagram, such as Manto, such as Park Wheel, such as Checkmate. It's insane. So what blueprint would you like to lay down, or what message would you like to give to people? How can they kind of jump on that same train, and how can they make themselves financially sustainable as a creator? Because सबसे बड़ा मसला ये होता है कि the financial bottleneck कि भाई ये चीज़ हम afford नहीं कर सकते, ये चीज़ हम खरीद नहीं सकते. How do we do this?
Completely honest बात करूँगा आपसे. When I started YouTube, I started that with the mindset कि I want to make money. छोड़ दिया मैंने. When I started content on Instagram, I knew Instagram directly does never pays you. मेरे दिमाग में था ही नहीं कि मैं कभी पैसे बनाऊंगा. दिमाग में था ही नहीं. I never had I didn't कोई brand deals or working with someone, editing तक I know a lot of people know me as a video editor.
Mm-hmm.
Editing तक मुझे करना नहीं था किसी के लिए. I was never gonna be a freelancer. I was just doing this for fun because I wanted to live that childhood dream. अब मैंने जो why do you think after the first 10-15 videos जब मुझे 100 views आ रहे थे मैंने quit नहीं किया. Why do you think? It's because I was just doing it for fun.
It wasn't for the money.
And I was learning through that fun. And the first brand that reached out to me, AMD Perfumes. And I had literally 2 days ago seen Daniel Harris again. I've already mentioned this in my YouTube video. I have one YouTube video right now, but zyada lagane hain.
The Birth of Muneeb.
The Birth of Muneebfilms.
Yes.
But half that video is just me talking about Daniel Harris because he was the inspiration of Muneebfilms in the start. But yeah, AMD Perfumes reached out and I was like, oh, Daniel just made a video on them. I want to make a video with them. So I made a video, and from that video, reviews with Nile followed me.
You also worked with him as well.
He is the perfume guy.
Yes.
Like, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. So I never had that whole thing for making money, and because I was just so focused on having fun and learning, it just naturally came by because I was getting followers, I was getting views, people were seeing my content and stuff, and brands started reaching out. So if you're trying to be a creator, if you're starting today and you're like, I'm gonna work with this brand, I'm gonna make this much money, mujhe ye karna hai, I wanna not do any 9 to 5, that's where you kind of fail. Because having a passion for something is really important to actually grow. If you're gonna do something with absolutely zero expectations but 200% mehnat, you're gonna see that growth by itself. If I start running today, not with the whole concept of, oh, I want to be like the fastest man on the planet. No, I'm just running to have better health. Okay? And you start seeing yourself actually picking up pace and picking up speed. That's a natural thing that happens because you were doing it for a better health. So when you're focused on your passion, you'll see elements that will already come by themselves. So when we come to the whole, how do I get paid? How do I work with brands? Don't even think about it. आप सिर्फ अपने content में focus करो. Make your content good. When it's good enough, brands will reach out naturally. I've never reached out to any of my clients for editing. Everyone has either seen my TikTok or my Instagram, and they've reached out themselves. Every single person I've ever worked with. उसके ऊपर all the brands, I've never reached out to any brands. They've reached out to me themselves. I'm in the position, alhamdulillah, that where I can actually select the people that I want to work with and the brands that I want to do videos with. But just don't rush into it and never have that expectation कि अच्छा अब 3 महीने में नहीं हुआ तो छोड़ दूंगा. अगर इतने टाइम में इतने पैसे नहीं आए, everything. So just work with what you have, so you don't have to actually spend money, and work with low expectations कि मुझे कुछ नहीं इससे मिलना, I'm just doing this for fun, and you'll eventually see yourself grow.
So throughout your journey, how have you kind of shielded yourself or kind of ignored all the negative comments? I'm not referring to constructive criticism. I'm referring to the people जो बस बोलते हैं for the sake of speaking, जो कोई काम नहीं होता.
There's a really good quote and I live by it. I've never seen a hater doing better than me.
That's very fair. True.
If anyone is doing better than you, let's say I'm doing better than so and so content creator, no, there is no way I will ever hate on his content because I was there and I know the struggles he's going through. So anyone who is doing better than you, who actually knows what you're going through, will support you 100%. And anyone who's just a keyboard warrior who has no life, unfortunately, just wants your reaction. Why do you think he's commenting in the first place? ताकि he gets a reaction from you. He wants to see you angry. He wants to see you mad. He wants to see you say his name. Get him to like he wants his 10 minutes of fame. So 2 things. One, try to avoid. And I'm not saying I'm 100% perfect. I've definitely had my moments. I'm like, यार क्यों बोल रहा है मुझे? क्या है इसमें? मजे की बात. There was this one guy who went off at me. I posted the Irfan Junejo wali video. How I met Irfan Junejo. I deleted the comments later on because he was getting way too violent. पर वो इतने 2 पैराग्राफ लिख रहे हैं, आप तो बस कॉपी पेस्ट हो, आप तो बस you're just one of the other, और आप पता नहीं क्या बोल रहे हो, you don't have any creative ideas, and I'm like, okay, सही है, definitely that's आप सही बोल रहे हैं, सही है. I was really trying not to get heated, and then he started going off on, oh, you're just not original and stuff. बार बार बोलता जा रहा था, इतनी मेरी हट गई, मैंने comment delete कर दिया. But I really wish I didn't delete that comment because
he got the
because
reaction.
I later on, yeah, he got
He
that
got the
reaction.
Do you like think? Did you always like start off with this concept? या फिर have you grown thicker skin with this
Oh,
time?
nahi, dude, yaar, like, देखो, we all start at the exact same place. Zero followers, no knowledge. And when I saw my first hate comment, I was like, how dare you? Why? Because you mainly get a lot of love for what you do, right? And there was this one guy who was like, this is horrible. Like, why are you posting this? But there's always going to be that person. When I started off, never really expected hate, which is really confusing to me. I don't know why I never thought about it. But when I did get that hate, I didn't know how to react to it. I never really had this mindset. And then later on, when you start growing and when you start doing it for longer, you start realizing, यार ऐसे लोग हैं, ऐसे लोग कुछ हैं, unfortunately you cannot do anything about it. Christopher Nolan will have haters, Irfan Junejo will have haters, Zenith Irfan will have haters, Noman Jaffer will have haters. हर बंदा किसी भी space में for anything they do, they all will have haters somewhere at some point. So you need to just avoid it, because there is no point in arguing with someone who's not even trying to listen to you, who's just trying to rage bait you, who's just trying to get you mad, so they can get a reaction. As soon as they get the reaction,
They want.
उनका खत्म, they want.
On a similar note, has there been any moment where you've gotten any form of constructive criticism by someone कि भाई मुनीब ये आपने वीडियो थी, मुझे ये एक चीज आपके कंटेंट के बारे में अच्छी नहीं लगी, and that one piece of advice just kind of changed how you approach your content later on?
Oh, for sure. When I started doing बहुत शुरू में when I started doing edits, I never really did storytelling content creation. मैंने एक वीडियो में 2-3 sentences बोले थे, हाँ, मेरा नाम मुनीब है, ये वो वगैरह, and this is my edit, and then I the edit started. So there, I'm not gonna say the creator's name, but that creator messaged me and he was like, "Yeah, you have this extrovert energy. Your edits are horrible. Don't do your edits. Stick to something where you're actually talking to the camera." And I took it really nicely. Alhamdulillah, I'm really glad that I took it nicely. I was like, "Sir, बिल्कुल, thank you so much. I appreciate that. आपके लिए मैं next video इस पे एक topic का मुझे दे दें और मैं वो उस पे video बनाता हूँ." So I forgot the topic, unfortunately, but I made that video and he liked it. I never posted this, by the way. I made that video by myself. I gave it to him and I was like, "What do you think?" He's like, "Good. Yehi karo." And I'm forever grateful to that creator as well. He basically shaped my niche. Not exactly, because I had to, when I started off with that storytelling content, it wasn't good, but it definitely led me to where I am now. And yeah, with this whole film thing, Shapater GP, watch it if you haven't, please. Support, share, story, everything. But with the whole Shapater GP thing, you can see the layering of characters, the main A role, the main race, your race director, आपका जो fan था, उसके पीछे मेरा जो interview था, जो मैं बात कर रहा हूँ post race. So there's layers to it, and that type of storytelling, content creation, you don't get like this. आपको अचानक से नहीं आती. You need to go through the whole, "Hi guys, my name is Muneeb," or "This is me," and everything. You go through that very weird phase of not knowing what to do and what to say, and then you go from that to actually layering stuff and having different characters in a story and trying to all mold it together. One thing about Shwarajbi that a lot of people didn't notice, शुरू में जो whispers थे, they actually end with the whispers as well. शुरू में whispers थे, "I've always wanted to be a racer," and in the end में whispers थे, "Did we do it? Yeah, we did." So it all wraps around, and people won't even notice that because you just so indulged into the story. But things like that, little pieces of things like that, you only get
जो notice करना चाहता है वो notice करेगा.
You only get that when you're actually when you actually practice the whole storytelling thing. So yeah, definitely.
And that's a very good transition to basically the elephant in the room, the question I want to ask Shuru say about your short film Shapater GP, which I've seen it already. It is the quality jump from your usual content is insane. So what led to that? When you were making like these videos, right? It was just like you messing around, a kid just messing around, right? What kind of led to the decision कि okay, I'm gonna make something. It's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be high quality. मुझे इस चीज पे अब काम करना है.
So funny they say this. So I watched the F1 movie the day it came out. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a really good movie.
Very good.
I watched it for once. I actually watched it in the cinema. I watch everything on the websites and stuff. 1, 2, 3 movies. I'm that guy. I don't really like to go out and stuff. But my family was going out and they were like, "Yeah, let's watch this F1 movie." And I'm like, "I'm a car guy. F1 movie. Okay, let's go." And when I watched it in the cinema, it was a different experience. Obviously, the phone pe pakarte hain, and then you're in a cinema and watching it, it's different. I was like, I love the sound design in this. That's the problem with, I'm not going to say anyone's name. Everyone is amazing at what they do. One thing that our entire country lacks, and that Hollywood has done so good, is sound design. No one understands how important sound design is.
I think in a much wider scale, immersive storytelling.
Immersive storytelling,
That's what's
100%.
missing.
I agree. That's the right word. And I was like, I want to try to do this. So I went back home. मैंने headphones पकड़े और मैंने F1 मूवी 2 बार देखी. And I went through the whole thing. I was like, okay, when he moves from here to here, you can hear the engine noise from here to there. You can hear it go by, like in the cinema. And I was like, okay, I kind of want to do this. So I started experimenting with like how to 3D design, how to get like your audio from left to right, how to get the bassy notes down. Very important was the bassy notes, but how to get everything down and layer everything. I started watching YouTube videos के अगर आपको transition करनी है, like let's say कोई whoosh transition है, and you just add one layer of whoosh, that's not good enough. What people do is add 4 layers of different whooshes ताकि एक light हो, एक heavy हो, एक थोड़ा medium हो, तो ताकि it feels really immersive.
Because as the car is obviously traveling away,
100%.
the whoosh will start getting lighter.
And the reason why when I posted my story of the timeline, you see so many different lines of green and not just one straight line, is because that layering is very important. The top layer was the engine noise, उसके ऊपर आपका race commentator था, and then the other effects and all that, the reverbs, and then all the 4-5 lines that you saw bottom पे were just sound effects. It was just यहाँ पे हवा से पास कर रहा है बाइक. You won't hear anything on a speaker. Like if I'm passing, अगर मेरी एक शॉट है जहाँ से मैं यूँ पास कर रहा हूँ with the bike, you just hear the engine going, but you won't hear the हवा की आवाज. But अगर तुम headphones पहनो, and I see the cast is laughing behind, I know that was really good. पर जो हवा की आवाज थी, वो आपको हेडफोन्स में ही सिर्फ पता चलेगी. एंड दैट्स द होल इमर्सिव थिंग कि डू एग्जैक्टली इरफान ने जो ने कहा ना, डू दैट एक्स्ट्रा 1% that takes you 50% more effort just so you can stand out. And I think this film in particular is very important to our generation because जो हमजा बट्टी इरफान ने जो वाला टाइम था ना, they didn't have that many tools. We have so many tools. My whole David Croft commentary पूरी AI है. I had to use AI because usme he says CD70, Shabater GP, Muneeb Khan. I needed some commentaries for that, so I was like, you know what? This is the first time I'm going to use AI, but I'm going to do it in the right way. David Croft commentary. We have a lot of other tools like DaVinci Resolve wasn't ever as good. Adding text was never that easy. All that, right? So with the tools that we have now, I kind of want to inspire people of our generation, you for example, कि भाई I don't have a Hollywood budget. I did all of this with 0 rupees and whatever I had. बाकी मैंने सब कुछ अपने creativity से निकाला है and all the layering, all the sound effects मैंने खुद download किया YouTube से, कहाँ से, all free sources something. कभी मैंने $1 खर्च नहीं किया, $1 ऐसे, अगर मैंने ₹1 भी खर्च नहीं किया इस फिल्म पे, but it feels that way. But yeah, I mean it's just inspiring people to do more. That's it.
And अब इस पे I'm pretty sure we're going to get a breakdown by you on how to do it as well, because I'm not saying this lightly. The film, everything you said about the focus on quality, these things matter to the people who listen. मुझे याद है मैं earphones के साथ जब सुन रहा था, I've said this time and time again, you feel the heavy notes when the car is passing by. You feel the sound fading away when the bike is going further away. It's insane how much work has gone into this. And Abhi, I think what we can do is, the film is going to release tomorrow.
It's releasing tomorrow, yes.
Yes, but podcast तो बहुत देर बाद ही जाएगी. So much while later after.
In the present time, it's not been released.
Yes, the present time it hasn't been released. तो एक काम करते हैं.
But you can watch it now on Muneebfilms.
Yes.
That's okay.
You can like add your plugins at the end.
No, I'm okay.
So Abhi, what we can do is, let's react to the film, Abhi.
I've always wanted to be a racer, but today's that day where I prove who I am.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Shapatar GP.
There was this feeling on race day that I can't really explain.
It's an early morning here at Total Parco where we are getting geared up for the yearly race.
I wasn't even nervous, really. I was just thinking about what I had done to get this far. I just hope to do my best.
Hello, Muneeb. This is your racing engineer. Radio check.
Check.
All right, Muneeb. Smoke 'em. Intros are good, Muneeb. Just watch out for monkeys.
It was at this moment of time that I realized this is it. This is exactly what I've been practicing for my entire life. And I'm not gonna back down without a fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Here we go! And it's a brilliant start from Muneeb Khan.
Come on, baby. It was such an experience because it was almost like the crowd wasn't even there. I was just living the moment.
Muneeb Khan now. Oh my, that was wonder. That's a new lap record for him on that CD70.
No more mistakes.
So, did we do it? Do what? Did we win? Yeah.
The thing is, मस्ती की बात, you are आप बोल सकते हो, it's not I'm not even exaggerating, it's 10 times better with headphones.
Yeah, oh, it is.
It's so much better with
It's
headphones.
very bassy.
नहीं, एक बार release होगी ना, I really appreciate all of you watch it with headphones. क्योंकि it's way more immersive, you can feel everything happening around you. So yeah,
It's very good. ठीक है, तो I think before
oh god,
हाँ.
I was like, where's the mic?
Before we get to anything about the film, the audio, उसके आप ऊपर अब तक नहीं जाएंगे, the way it
Yes.
looks, the way it's shot, सबसे बड़ी achievement ये है, it was all shot by you. That's I think the biggest thing, and especially when you were referring to keyframing and the movement of the shot. So can you explain how tedious the process was as a solo filmmaker making that film?
So it's funny you say that because it was extremely tedious, and I will actually tell you something really funny thing about the film. So there are a lot of points where I'm actually doing the main race, right? So there was this one frame जहाँ पे bike दूर से आ रही है और it just passes by the camera, and as I said, I filmed this myself. So मैं tripod पे रखा था and I passed by, saw the raw footage, मैंने अपने MacBook पे खोला, I was like, this looks बहुत हल्का. Because in real race films, क्या होता है, whenever there's any pass by of a F1 car or like a proper supercar, there's actually someone who's holding the camera, and there's those natural hand movements that you can see which make the whole thing feel really actiony. Like बहुत cinematic vibe आती है जब कोई बंदा पकड़ा होता है phone या camera जो भी, and then it just passes by. I was like, how can I do this the Muneebfilms way? Because a lot of people know me for my jugaad, everything that I do in the process or try to do something, come up with something without a budget. So there's one thing that a lot of people know about, it's keyframing. I mean, I can basically have one keyframe and another keyframe. Second keyframe में थोड़ा frame को अगर मैं zoom in कर दूं, the whole video will play by and have that slow zoom in feel. So that's very basic in keyframing. What I did was I had like every other half a second, I think 0.3 second tha, I've keyframed the whole thing, and then I added zoom ins and zoom outs, and the whole thing just panned from left to right. You can actually see position में X और Y पे the numbers start shifting from one to the other. तो मैंने थोड़ा zoom in किया, left to right pan रखा, and then added a camera shake feeling effect, ताकि आपको ऐसा फील लगे कि किसी ने पकड़ा हुआ है जब आपकी बाइक गुजर रही है. So that's how I try to counter just being by myself, because when you actually have someone on set, you can be like, अच्छा तो थोड़ा सा कैमरा यहाँ हिलाना, थोड़ा ये करना, थोड़ा zoom out, थोड़ा zoom in, but you can't really do that. And then there's another shot where I'm actually passing by through this, and there's two angles. So यूं करके बाइक जाती है, and then the second angle is यहाँ से यहाँ. And I filmed that twice. So I did this यहाँ से, कैमरा इधर था, मैं यूं गुजरा, and then I came back, कैमरा इधर रखा, और फिर यहाँ से दूसरी बार. And then I stitched those shots. But
It's
फिर
very
भी
smooth, by the way.
I'm actually very surprised because I only filmed that once. I filmed both takes once. That was one take, both of them. So khair, that when I stitched that together, I was like, yeah, it's too basic. I'm gonna zoom in to the first frame, zoom out of the second frame, और दोनों में वही camera shaky feeling vibe डालूंगा. थोड़ा सा, but because it was a bit further away this time, so I added a little less keyframing to it. So it was literally so much to the point where the distance of how far I was from the camera depended on how much I keyframed the movement. Like that is how tedious that process was. And to this day, I'm using all of my time जितना मैं कर सकता हूँ, trying to make sure everything's okay. Because there's a challenge of filming it solo, right? I mean, safety, security is one. I'm really glad I had Heather there. Shout out Heather, my guy Heather, because he did all the he did all the photography and the posters. And yeah, it was hard. I was really running through it, but हो गया, somehow हो गया.
How long did it take you to edit this वैसे? Because you're talking about the editing process and it's very tedious, because इसके अंदर sound design तो is a completely separate feat, right? But I think one thing people will notice is the color grading, the film look जो इससे वीडियो से आ रही है. तो how long did it take you to go through all of these processes? Editing इसकी कब हो गई थी?
Quick game. 95% of the film was done in X amount of days. What do you think that X amount of days is?
Okay.
Was edited, 95% of it was edited completely. I'm making few changes still आजकल, but 95% of it was done in X amount of days. How many days do you think?
Okay, you're putting me on the spot here. Let me think.
Yeah, you can take your time. Just know that again,
Was it a long amount of time?
It was not.
Not.
It was not.
Okay.
Just letting you know, I locked in for this proper तरीके से. पूरे टाइम हेडफोन्स पहने हुए थे, was very dedicated, put everything on airplane mode, don't disturb, कोई मुझे तंग ना करे, कैमरा लॉक, something, everything मैं full lock in हुआ था कि मुझे करना है अभी.
It's shot in the dark, but one day then एक रात में सब कुछ किया.
Less.
Okay. हाँ? Less?
It took me 3 hours to do 95% of it.
किया?
I edited the whole thing in 3 hours.
तो अभी we've had quite a long podcast, quite a long fun conversation.
Alhamdulillah, yes.
Unpacked a lot of things, but now we're gonna move towards the end and let's talk about some rapid fire questions. I know this is probably a very lengthy question, but summarize as much as you can. What do you define as success?
Working as hard as possible to a goal, not knowing what the goal itself is, but knowing that you'll achieve something from it.
Okay, who was your inspiration? Besides Daniel Harris, who are your current inspirations in the content circle?
Irfan Junejo is one, Bilal Shams Khan, Haider Ali Jr. Another one would be, this is hard. I'm gonna say Amir Bhagat as well. I think he's underrated for what he does. But yeah, these are my inspirations.
What about Maha on social?
Maha on social, yes, this is a good point actually. Very
I also saw him in your live that day.
Yeah. No, Maha on social is really good. I mean, again, she's another example of start with, you don't have to look at what could have been. You just need to work with what you have again. So yeah, Maha on social is good.
And what are your opinions on AI in the content creation space?
I think AI should be used as a tool. I don't think it'll replace us, because let's say Photoshop me, you can generate a cutout of someone really easily. Technically, I mean that it's not AI, but it was used. When it first came out, people were like, "Oh God, now we're over. Like we can't edit anymore. This is just gonna take our jobs." It didn't. It was just used as a tool, and I use it for my short film as well. David Croft commentary AI. I mean, I wanted to use David Croft because it would give more of an F1 feeling. It's not like people will just start making creative content on just using AI. And you definitely can, but I don't think it'll be as appreciated as people actually think.
Okay, fair. And where do you see Muneebfilms in the next 10 years? बहुत लंबा सवाल पूछ लिया.
मजे की बात. I can't tell you where I can see Muneebfilms in the next 3 months. So in the next 10 years, I hope, all I really hope is I've inspired more people and I've made a good name in the industry. And I just want people to remember me now. Like, I want people to remember this stage. I want myself to remember this stage. मुनीब, आप भी 7,000 फॉलोअर पे थे. आपने भी शुरू किया था सिर्फ एक आईफोन और एक ट्राइपॉड पे. And to the Muneeb who's watching this 10 years, I know you're watching this. You've made yourself proud, and I know that you never gave up, and I just know that you're doing well, and the Muneebfilms of today was also doing well. So yeah.
And that's a very good way to end the rapid fire. It's very inspiring, and I want to end this podcast off with a quote which I saw in one of your videos, and I think I mentioned this time and time again that is my favorite reel I've seen. Which, even though you may not agree with me, is say stay small enough, long enough, and soon enough you'll be big enough.
I agree.
How has that quote inspired you, and how do you think others can also take inspiration from it when they're entering this space for the first time?
When you kind of understand the fact that you're somewhere and you realize कि मैं इधर हूँ, मेरे पास ये है, this is all the knowledge I have and I need to work with this. When you understand the concept of I'm not the biggest, I'm not the best, but I can become the best. I can become the best. You will get anywhere. I mean, if I started with, if I just have an A7 III and I have all of this equipment, फिर मैं कर लूँगा. नहीं. Stay small enough, long enough. So be humble, be who you are, work with that iPhone 8 like I did, and soon enough you'll be big enough. I mean, I met Irfan Junejo way earlier than I thought. I have gotten followers from people that I thought I would get in 2-3 years. So you'll be big enough way faster than you imagine. I remember myself at 200 something followers. I was like, yeah, that first 5K is going to be, I'm genuinely not even joking. I was like, that first 5K is going to take me a year, 2 years. I'm at 7K and I'm like, मैंने अभी बोला था ये यार. So you'll get there eventually, definitely, but it will feel a lot sooner than you think. So when you say Muneeb in 10 years, जो मेरी अभी सोचा ना, I might be like, million followers. In 10 years, I might actually be 5 million, 6 million. And when I'm at 6 million, I'll look back at this, inshallah. I'll look back at this and I'll be like, oh, I thought 1 million. I'm at 6 now. It's like, that's the point. So yeah.
And I think, firstly, very deep words. This entire podcast, I feel like
Thanks, man.
you've given a lot. And by the way, for your first time, you've done really well.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's been really fun.
You've been a really good host. If I'm being
so
very
much.
honest with you, you've really helped making this conversation feel very human. I
Thank you
really
so much.
appreciate that.
I really appreciate that as well. And I feel like with that, we can end the podcast over there. I feel like we can end the podcast there. Say, Allah Hafiz everyone. This is Sharks on Air, episode 3. Allah Hafiz Muneeb.
Allah Hafiz. Jazakallah.
Say it.